Pretty tasty. Freeze.
Don't shoot!
Speak.
At night, poisonous animals will...
Speak.
In the south, the bottomless swamp.
Speak.
If our radio man is taken out, contact will be...
Speak.
Let me go!
Hey, this works. Freeze.
Don't shoot! press the action button above branches.
Speak.
Under the rope bridge. Flatten yourself against the cliff wall and proceed.
Speak.
Let me go!
Ugh, poison.
Snake, are you there?
Eva,
Did you miss me?
did you make it without any trouble?
No one saw me.
So you're back with Vulcan.
In a matter of speaking.
What about the boss?
Yeah, she's here too.
Better be careful.
Thanks, I will. The boss and I get along pretty well, though. I guess we traders have a lot in common.
Why would anyone want to defect? Betraying your country like that, I just don't get it.
Are you talking about the boss?
Why do you do it? Weren't you born and raised in America?
Yes, in a small rural town. I never even knew there were other countries, other cultures, other ways of thinking. Until I went to work for the NSA. Then one day, I'd found I'd lost faith in the things I'd been taking for granted.
What did you see? What was it that made you want to change sides?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
I saw the universe.
The universe?
Not the actual universe. The universe as the intelligence community sees it. I realized that the gravity in this universe was holding me back. That's all. People and countries are both changed by their environment and by the times.
That sounds like what the boss was saying.
There's a world of difference between this country and America. But it's only a difference of position, a difference of perspective. Coming here made me realize something. Half of what I'd been told was a complete and utter lie. The other half was a conveniently constructed lie.
Where's the truth then?
It's hidden in the lies.
Are you lying too?
Who knows? I've been trained to make even the most severe falsehood sound like the honest truth. Weren't you?
No. I believe because I have to, even if it is a lie. That's part of my mission.
I'll have to remember that. If you need me, give me a call on the radio. My frequency is 142.52. See ya.
Pretty tasty. Freeze.
Please don't!
Freeze. Answer me.
On the little island in the southern swamp, a bizarre crocodile.
Answer me.
There are guys who know alert cancellation frequencies.
Answer me.
Bastard!
Freeze.
Don't shoot me, please! Oh! 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 Oh!
Speak.
Watch your feet.
Speak.
We have guys who know fire support frequencies.
Answer me.
You lousy!
Tasty. Freeze.
Don't shoot!
Speak.
If you shoot the barbed wire fence power source,
Speak.
request to call off alert 147.11.
Speak.
Fire support request 141.62.
Speak.
Let me go!
Speak.
There are lots of traps around here.
Answer me.
What dogs really like is animal meat.
Speak.
Let go of me. Oh. Oh.
HQ, respond!
What the? Huh? Who's there?
Freeze. Freeze.
Oh, wait!
Speak.
To the north.
Speak.
There's more of us.
Answer me.
If you want to learn more, take a look at the survival viewer map.
Speak.
Request to call off alert 149.46.
Answer me. Let go of me. Freeze.
Oh, wait!
Freeze. Speak.
Listening to the radio can be relaxing.
Speak.
Radio 148.39.
Speak. Let go of me. worries.
Please don't!
Speak.
I don't have anything.
Speak.
Under the bed.
Answer me.
Bastard.
I'm gonna puke. I want some more.
the enemies here?
Freeze.
Please don't! Nobody here. Huh! 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 Huh!
Speak.
If the provision storehouse is destroyed,
Answer me.
the machine gun with the action button,
Speak.
there are guys who know alert cancellation frequencies.
Answer me.
Bastard!
HQ, respond!
Snake, that building next to you is an enemy armory.
As you might have guessed, those armories you sometimes run into are where they keep their ammo and other stuff. If you take out an armory, the enemy units in the area will have their ammo supply cut off. And if they know they're on their last leg, they'll use ammo a little more sparingly in a gunfight. Bottom line, if you blow up an armory, the enemy's firepower decreases.
By destroying an armory, you can cut off the enemy's supply of ammunition. That should make your job a lot easier. Good, you've reached the relay station, but stay alert. That station is an enemy strongpoint. The security is bound to be tight.
But there's no other way to get to the crevice if I don't make it through.
Exactly. The crevice leading to the cave is in the north of that area. Find a way to slip past the enemy and head north. First, enter the cave through the crevice. Eva said it was to the north, so head that way. Eva was right when she said that operating in an unknown jungle at night is extremely dangerous. In my former outfit, the SAS, we'd always be sure to set up camp before sunset and wait until daybreak before setting out again. Being able to stay in that abandoned factory made things a lot easier for you. You ought to be thanking Eva.
Major, what's this temptation Eva was talking about?
In the Old Testament of the Bible, Eve was seduced by a snake into tasting the fruit of knowledge. By eating the forbidden fruit, Adam and Eve disobeyed God's command and were cast out from the Garden of Eden. Thus, it was the snake who led mankind into original sin.
Come to think of it, I did break a rib in the virtuous mission. Maybe that's where Eva came from.
But the one who tempted Adam into eating the forbidden fruit was Eve. You may be working together, but she's still a KGB operative. Don't let your guard down.
I don't intend to.
Snake, your number one priority in this mission is rescuing Sokolov. Eva said he is in the lab, so head over there.
Right.
Do you remember how to get to the lab?
You mean what Eva told me?
Yes.
Of course I do.
All right, repeat it for me.
Major, do you think I'd forget something like that?
Let's hear it then.
First I head north.
Hmm?
And then I'll come to a crevice.
And then?
And then...
All right, let's go over this one more time. First, head north through the jungle. Enter the cave through the crevice to the north. Follow the cave to the end and you'll come out in an aqueduct surrounded by mangrove. Follow the aqueduct to the north and you should arrive at a warehouse. Climb out of the water and enter the warehouse. After you've infiltrated the warehouse, pass through it to the north. Then you'll emerge in the woods again. The lab will be directly to the north. Are we clear now?
Yeah.
Snake.
I got it. Basically, I just head north, right?
Snake, I heard you got a scientist disguise from Eva.
Yeah.
Go to uniform on the camouflage screen and choose scientist to disguise yourself as a scientist.
Scientist, huh?
But it won't do you any good to go around the jungle wearing a scientist disguise.
No one would be that stupid.
You're right. No one would think of going around the jungle in a scientist disguise. If they did, they'd have to be a fool. No, more than a fool. A complete dumbass. Don't you think so, Snake?
Yeah. Major, tell me a little bit more about the space race.
In 1957, the Soviet Union succeeded in launching their first artificial satellite, Sputnik, into orbit. Having been beaten to the chase by the Soviets, the US government accelerated its own space program in an effort to catch up. The following year, the space development programs of the various service branches were united to form the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. That same year, the Mercury program was launched with the goal of putting a man into space. 7 candidates were chosen from the military as the first astronauts. These were the men with the right stuff. But as you know, it was a Soviet cosmonaut, Yuri Gagarin, who made the first successful manned spaceflight 3 years ago. NASA's first successful ballistic flight came 1 month after Gagarin's mission, with the Freedom 7 carrying Alan Shepard into space. After that, with America still lagging behind the Soviets in orbital flight, President Kennedy made a momentous decision. That America would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Yeah, I heard that speech, but a lot of guys I knew weren't real happy about it. They said no one was gonna make them go on a mission to blow up some damn moon base.
But rocket research and missile research are closely related. Imagine, if you will, a Soviet Union able to send wave after wave of nuclear missiles raining down on Washington from a base on the surface of the moon. Even if that's still a long way from reality, if we lose the initiative, we may never get it back. We're left with no choice but to keep moving forward one step at a time. The Gemini program, launched 2 years ago, represents the initial step towards establishing a moon base. And yet, I don't want to call President Kennedy a liar, but I simply can't imagine that in 6 years man will have reached the moon.
I don't know. I never even thought we'd make it up into space. I guess it all depends on whether you have the will to make it happen.
Perhaps you're right. Snake, let's go over the controls for CQC one more time. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Press it repeatedly to launch a combo attack. CQC doesn't really start to shine, however, until you grab an enemy. Press and hold the CQC button to grab the enemy. Use the movement stick at the same time, and you can knock the enemy to the ground. If you don't move it, you can get behind the enemy and hold him prisoner. When you're holding an enemy from behind, he'll be almost completely helpless. From there are a number of things you can do. By pressing the action button, you can slit his throat using your knife. By moving the movement stick along with the CQC button, you can knock him to the ground. You can also choke the enemy by tapping the CQC button rapidly. You can either render him unconscious or kill him outright. It's up to you. If you keep the CQC button pressed, you can move around with the enemy in your grip. You can also press the aim button to use the weapon you have equipped. The enemy will be hesitant to attack as long as you're using one of their comrades as a human shield. Use that moment of hesitation to attack. By pressing the interrogate button, you can interrogate the enemy. You might be surprised at the things you can learn. But stay alert. While the enemy is nearly helpless in your grasp, if you give him a chance, he'll turn the tables on you. You can only grab an enemy using CQC when you're using a weapon that will allow you to reach out with your right hand, such as the survival knife, a handgun, or your bare hands. You can't grab the enemy when using weapons that take both hands to use, such as assault rifles, or that prevent you from controlling the enemy with your right hand, like hand grenades. In short, you can't use CQC when equipped with assault rifles or hand grenades. You can tell whether a weapon is compatible with CQC or not by looking at its icon. Snake, remember that this operation is a solo sneaking mission. We'll be providing you with support over the radio, but out in the field you're on your own. There's no backup. And there's no way you'll survive a battle with a large enemy contingent. Avoid engagement whenever possible. Your highest priority in this mission is staying out of sight. Snake, camouflage uniforms alone are not enough. You'll need to put on face paint as well. Snake, camouflage and face paint alone won't make you blend in completely. In addition to the camouflage itself, your physical position is a crucial dynamic you should keep in mind. Snake, when your stamina gets low, it negatively affects your physical abilities. You've got to replenish your stamina before it runs out.
Check your stamina gauge to see how much stamina you have remaining. It shows, as the name suggests, your remaining stamina. As you consume stamina, your natural life regeneration is slowed and your hands shake more. Your O2 gauge and grip gauge also become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. Make sure you replenish stamina before that occurs. Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals, so don't hesitate to ask. My frequency is 145.73.
Your actions can lower your stamina. The more demanding the activity, the more stamina consumed.
Exactly. Walking slowly will conserve stamina, while actions like rolling, crawling, and stalking consume large amounts of it. Try your best to avoid unnecessary actions in order to conserve stamina.
Snake, in order to carry out the mission without being spotted, you must learn to detect an approaching enemy well ahead of time. use the camera stick and constantly check your surroundings as you proceed. After aiming your weapon with the aim button, press the first-person view button to switch to a first-person view attack. When using first-person view attack, you can direct your line of fire up, down, left, or right with more precision. Snake, making it harder for the enemy to spot you isn't the only advantage to maintaining a high camo index. The harder you are to distinguish from your surroundings, the harder you are to hit. In other words, the enemy's shots will miss more often. Do everything you can to keep your camo index high at all times. Snake, this is a solo sneaking operation. There are no medics there to assist you. You'll have to treat your own injuries. Are we clear?
I had a little bit of training, but I'm no doctor.
That's where I come in. To treat an injury, first press the survival viewer button to open the survival viewer. Then select cure to start the treatment. Healing is divided into two types of treatment: medicine and surgical procedures. Treatment with medicine involves administering oral remedies and serum injections. You'll use this treatment method when you have food poisoning or when you've been bitten by a venomous animal. Surgical treatment involves applying surgical techniques to injured areas. You'll use this method to take care of burns and gunshot wounds. As long as you do everything you're supposed to, your injury should heal completely. Be sure to follow the proper procedures.
Snake, let's review the way to change between standing, crouching, and crawling. When standing, press the crouch button briefly to crouch, and press and hold to take a crawling position. Since by crouching you take a lower position, it has a higher camo index than standing. And the added stability of crouching lessens the effect of gun recoil. If you try shooting while crouching, you'll notice your shots will bunch together more consistently than when standing. Press the crouch button while crouching to stand up. Move the movement stick to move in a direction while crouched. When crawling, your camo index becomes extremely high, and your firing of guns becomes even more stable than while crouching. You can move the movement stick while on your stomach to crawl in a particular direction. When you're crawling, use small movements of it to crawl silently at the expense of speed. However, be warned that crawling consumes more stamina than simply walking. Press and hold the crouch button while in a crawl position to stand up. Press the crouch button briefly to switch to crouch position. Don't forget, if you want to stand up quickly from a crawling position, press and hold the crouch button. Snake, the food you catch will gradually spoil over time.
Some types of food spoil faster than others. Animal and fish meat goes bad relatively fast, but plants and mushrooms generally last a little longer. Animals won't go bad if you capture them alive, though. You can tell whether food has gone bad or not by looking closely at the icon on the food screen in the survival viewer. So be sure to check the icon before you eat the food. If you eat spoiled food, you'll get sick and end up with a stomach ache. It'll get better eventually if you leave it alone, but that means you'll throw up and lose a lot of stamina. If you get a stomach ache, go to Cure in the survival viewer and take some digestive medicine. Digestive medicine and antidotes aren't the only ways to cure stomach aches and food poisoning. You can also induce vomiting. Go into the survival viewer and press the viewer button to enter viewer mode. Then rotate the camera stick to spin your body around, and eventually you'll start feeling queasy. When you get dizzy enough, exit the survival viewer and you'll throw up. That should get rid of any stomach ache and food poisoning you have. Give it a try.
Your sensors and other electronic devices cannot be used indefinitely. Once they're activated, they consume battery power. Remember, all items draw power from a single battery. Once your battery runs out, all electronic gear becomes inoperable. You can check your remaining battery power with the icon of any item that uses electricity. Take care not to waste power. The battery recharges automatically when not in use. When you want to recharge the battery, unequip all electronic devices and give it some time. The higher your stamina gauge, the faster your battery recharges. If you want it to recharge faster, eat food and recover your stamina. Also, if you run, roll, or do other dramatic actions, the battery will recharge faster. Snake, I don't recommend running around wildly. You need to determine when it's best to run and when it's best just to walk. Move the movement stick slightly to walk. You won't move very fast, but it consumes little stamina, and enemies are less likely to detect you. When you're near enemies or when you need to conserve stamina, those are good times to walk. Snake, there are other ways to recover your stamina besides eating.
Such as?
Such as taking a rest.
A rest?
To take a rest, all you have to do is save and exit the game. The next time you load your save data and continue the game, your stamina and life will have recovered. How much they recover depends on how long of a rest you take.
So the longer I rest, the more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength to find food, save the game and take a rest and you'll be back on your feet.
I hope that never happens.
So do I. But you never know. Just don't forget, okay?
I won't.
With an equipped weapon, move the movement stick to lock your line of fire while moving in any given direction. Use this for charges or retreats, or any other time that you want to concentrate fire in one direction while moving.
The degree to which you move the movement stick not only changes your walking speed, but changes your speed when crawling and for intrusion movement. With large movements of the movement stick, you can move faster, but you'll make noise and give yourself away to nearby enemies. With slight movements of it, you can move in silence. It sacrifices speed, but it's the best choice for the times when creating noise presents significant risk. Snake, if you step in any water or mud, your feet will get wet. If you walk like that, you'll leave footprints behind and the enemy may follow them straight to you. Try to avoid walking through any water or mud as much as possible. However, if your feet do get wet, just crawl to avoid leaving any footprints behind. When you don't want anybody following your trail, make sure to crawl. Equip food as a weapon to throw the food. If you throw a live animal near an enemy, you may be able to distract him. If an enemy is really hungry, he may pounce at the prospect of food. You have minimal gear on this mission, and you have to make the most use out of anything you can procure on the ground.
Press down on the camera stick when in standard view to switch the camera left and right. Switching the camera in this way will adjust the balance between left and right in your field of vision. Naturally, the area you are able to see on the screen will instantly change as well. You can use the same controls to switch the camera while moving or aiming a weapon. Use of this technique can be greatly advantageous to your mission. Make sure to get the most out of it.
Snake, the Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. Use it to put enemies to sleep without harming them. The speed with which the tranquilizer takes effect depends on the point of impact on the enemy. If a target is hit on the arm or leg, the tranquilizer won't take effect immediately, but a target hit on the head will drop like a fly. If you want to take an enemy out in a flash, aim for the head. Snake, let me explain the enemy's various states of alert. First of all, there's the state in which the enemy in that area doesn't know that you're there. This is called normal phase. In normal phase, the enemy will follow normal procedures for patrols and other activities. They won't present much of a danger to you. But if they spot an intruder, that means you, they'll attack in an attempt to neutralize you. This is called alert phase. Alert phase will last until the enemy loses sight of you. Even after they lose sight of you, the enemy will continue to search the area for a while. This is called evasion phase. Evasion phase will last until the enemy exhausts their search effort. Once evasion phase is over, the enemy should return to base. After the search is aborted, the enemy will enter caution phase. In caution phase, enemy soldiers will be more cautious in their patrols, and they'll likely be more difficult to detect. In addition to the regular patrols, there's also a chance that they'll send out additional search units. Keep on your toes. After you've grabbed an enemy from behind with CQC, you can interrogate him by pressing the interrogate button. This is an opportunity to gain intelligence. Some of your enemies have valuable information, so give the technique a try and see what you can learn. Press the evade button to commence a roll. For a brief interval, you'll perform a jump which can be used to knock down enemies. Also, you can use rolling to jump waist-high objects. However, remember that rolling consumes more stamina than standard running. Snake, remember that the suppressor is a limited commodity.
I know. No suppressor lasts forever.
Exactly. When the suppressor's durability wears away, it breaks beyond repair. See the weapon icon to check the suppressor's present level of durability. Remove the suppressor from your gun if you want to make it last. Select the weapon that the suppressor is on with the weapon window button and press the enter button to attach or detach the suppressor. Regulate usage of the suppressor based on the situation. Snake, certain enemy soldiers are equipped with radios. These signalers can use their radios to transmit information to and from the command headquarters. If a signaler realizes your presence, you can bet he'll be on the horn calling backup from headquarters. After headquarters receives the call for backup, they contact a nearby unit and order them to head over to give support. Once backup arrives, your enemies will outnumber you beyond hope for victory. It'll be too much for even you to handle. If you notice a signaler making a call for backup with his radio, take him out before he has the chance. If the call gets through, retreat before the backup unit arrives. If you hang around too long, you'll find yourself immensely outmatched. Got it? It's possible to destroy the radio that enemy correspondents use. If you must get involved in a fight, destroying the radio first will allow you to concentrate on the battle without worrying about reinforcements. Snake, this operation is a sneaking mission. You'll be doing your job right under the enemy's nose. In the event that you're spotted by an enemy, disable him before he can alert nearby soldiers. If you can take him out before he alerts other enemies of your presence, then the alert phase will quickly be restored to normal phase. But don't forget, even this should only happen in emergencies. Your top priority is to avoid being spotted by the enemy in the first place. Be effective. Snake, I recommend against leaving the bodies of your victims lying around. If the enemy spots a fallen comrade, they'll realize that they've been infiltrated and strengthen their guard. When you kill an enemy, hide the body in the grass or at some other location where it won't be spotted.
Stand near a fallen enemy and press the reload button to grab the body. Hold the reload button and move to drag the body. Release the reload button to put the body down.
Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from your gun depends on where you hit him. If you hit an arm or leg, one shot won't be enough to finish him. If you want to take an enemy out in one shot, you'll have to get a solid shot to the head. You can get inside trees that are hollowed out from decay. Entering a hollow is an effective method for gaining temporary cover from enemies. However, if you're caught entering the tree, you'll take concentrated fire. If they throw a grenade in on you, you'll be torn to shreds. Be careful. Snake, when you stand up against a tree or put your back against the wall near a corner, the camera gives you a view of behind.
This makes it easier to keep track of what's occurring on the other side of your cover, as well as your general surroundings.
Also, there are a variety of actions possible while hiding, including peeking out from cover and taking jump-out shots. Learning how to take advantage of the corner view is the first step towards mission success. Use it to your utmost advantage. In the corner view, you can stick yourself out from a protected area and look over your shoulder. We'll call this action peeking. Peeking is effective for observation, since it gives you a wider range of vision than the normal corner view. However, since it involves revealing part of your body, you put yourself at risk of being spotted by the enemy.
Also in the corner view, you can traverse narrow crevices and pathways that are normally inaccessible. Although such locations make it harder for the enemy to find you, they also make it harder to make a quick escape when needed. Be sure to check your surroundings and use them effectively.
If you have a gun equipped during the corner view, press the aim button to jump out and take a jump out shot. With the jump out shot technique, you can stay protected from enemy fire behind an obstruction and launch a burst attack when the time is right. This is a crucial technique for firefights. Use it well.
Equip some grenades and press the aim button to line up your throw while in corner view. And then press the attack button to throw a grenade while hiding behind a barrier. This technique should come in handy during a firefight. Use it well. Press the action button when you're on top of a branch or in front of a railing to hang down from that spot. This action is called hanging. Sometimes it's advantageous to move while hanging rather than walking on the surface. Also, by hanging, you can hide by staying out of the sight of your enemies. While hanging, use the movement stick to move left and right. When you want to climb back up from your hanging position, press the action button once more. If you want to drop down, press the crouch button. You can't keep hanging forever. Once you run out of grip strength, you'll fall. Check your grip strength with the grip gauge. When you hang, a blue gauge appears on the screen. This is the grip gauge. It indicates the status of your grip. When hanging, the grip gauge drops. When the grip gauge expires, you will fall, so you must climb back up before that happens. The length of the grip gauge depends upon your stamina. If you need to hang for a long period, you'll have to revive your stamina first. If there's something to grab onto during a fall, press the action button when you pass in front of it. If you get the timing right, you'll be able to grab and hang onto that area. With this technique, you can reach locations that are inaccessible by other means. You may even find some rare items this way. Observe your geographic surroundings and try to find spots that you could grab during a fall.
Major,
Yes?
I was just wondering, why do they call you Zero?
What do you mean?
We go back a long ways, but I just realized I never asked you why you're called Zero.
You want to know where it comes from?
Yeah, if that's all right.
That's a bit nostalgic, really.
Nostalgic.
The first British intelligence outfit was established in 1909. The head of the Foreign Intelligence Division was a man named Mansfield George Smith Cumming. He was referred to simply as C after the first letter of his last name. Since then, out of respect for Cumming, the heads of the SIS have traditionally taken the name of C.
And James Bond's boss is called M.
That's right. I myself was once known as O.
And that's where Zero comes from?
Precisely. In another sense, though, it signifies a ghost, one whose true identity must remain a mystery, the primogenitor of the solo sneaking operation.
Is that so?
Press the crouch button while hanging to drop straight down. You can knock an enemy instantly unconscious with this technique if you land on top of him. When you're in a tree, try aiming for an enemy passing beneath. Press the action button from on top a branch to hang down from the tree, but you can only remain hanging as long as your grip strength lasts. Keep an eye on your grip gauge when dangling from a tree. Be careful. With low stamina, your grip won't last long. If you approach an enemy undetected, you can render him defenseless by jutting a gun into his body from behind. This is called a hold-up. However, even after rendering an enemy defenseless, if he notices you put your weapon away or start to walk away, he will attack. So, be careful. When you hold an enemy up, sometimes he will give you an item. Conducting a hold-up presents risks, but it is a useful technique when you're running low on ammunition or medical items. After you've received an item from a hold-up, you might try holding the enemy up again. He might give up a more precious, hidden item. You can climb up onto waist-high objects by pressing the action button. Climbing can get you to locations that can't be accessed by walking, and it may help you reach items that can't be found normally. Don't forget to try climbing things. Snake, press the memory button on the radio screen to open the memory window. In the memory window, select a person to contact and press the enter button. This saves you the time of adjusting the frequency. The battlefield airwaves are littered with various transmissions. You can find a real catch if you fiddle around enough. Press the CQC button when you're up against a wall to knock on the wall and make a sound. Creating sounds can attract the attention of enemies. There are many ways to use sound to your advantage. Use it to lure an enemy in the wrong direction. Then use that opportunity to slip by. Or lure an enemy near you, then ambush the enemy from behind. Use it to your utmost advantage. Snake, if you find an item box, use first-person view to take a good look and find out what's inside. Sometimes it's dangerous to blindly go after an item. That's why you should check first to make sure the item in the item box is worth the trouble. If you can't get a good look, you can use your binoculars. With your handgun, press the aim button to aim and press the attack button to fire. If you want to lower the weapon without firing, just release the aim button. You'll just have to practice until you get the hang of it. I've heard of a lot of cases where fresh recruits accidentally fired on enemies during a hold-up. If you train yourself now, you won't be liable to misfire when the pressure's on. If you're unsure of yourself, you should practice. The assault rifle works just like the handgun. Press the aim button to aim and press the attack button to fire. If you want to lower the weapon without firing, such as during a hold-up, just release the aim button. Be careful not to fire the weapon the moment you aim. The distance that you throw grenades and other throwable weapons is determined by how long you press the attack button. A quick press of the button will toss the weapon nearby, while a long press of the button will hurl it farther. Select the proper distance for the situation as appropriate.
When in first-person view with an equipped weapon, move the movement stick to lock your line of fire while moving. Move while in first-person view to track the enemy and find a more advantageous spot to attack from. Use first-person view to get a better grasp of your surroundings than you can with the standard view. If you search your surroundings carefully while in first-person view, you might find something unexpected, such as small creatures hiding in the forest. And be sure to examine any areas of interest using first-person view.
When you creep inside a small space, the overhead view switches to the intrusion view. Movement during the intrusion view is a bit different from movement during the standard view. Use the movement stick to shift in each direction, and use the camera stick to rotate the camera. With large movements of the movement stick, you move faster but create sound. Nearby enemies might notice you. With slight movements of it, you can move without making a sound, but at the expense of speed. Use both types of movement in appropriate situations. Snake, did you notice that when you knock an enemy unconscious, stars appear over his head? If you take a close look at the stars above the enemy's head, you'll notice that they gradually disappear, one at a time. Once the stars are all gone, the enemy becomes conscious again and returns to battle. So, when you knock out an enemy, be sure to plan for his recovery. Thermal goggles create a thermal image based on the heat emitted by objects in view. With the thermal goggles equipped, you'll be able to quickly spot enemies hidden deep within the jungle. Also, you can locate plants, animals, and traps. Use it to your advantage. However, once you activate the thermal goggles, you begin draining battery energy. And remember, once you're out of battery juice, you won't be able to use your other electronic devices.
Wow, you caught a coral snake. The coral snake is a venomous snake that originally hails from the Americas. Its venom is a very potent neurotoxin, so don't let it bite you. If you do get bitten, go into the survival viewer right away and use Cure to neutralize the poison with a serum injection. The colorful red and black patterns on the coral snake are a warning sign. Apparently, the bright flashy colors and pattern let other animals know that it carries a deadly poison that keeps them from attacking. There are many animals that mimic the colors of known poisonous animals as a defense. See, by mimicking other poisonous creatures, they increase their chances of survival. There is another non-poisonous snake called the milk snake that borrows its coloring from the coral snake.
Uh-huh.
You're not even listening, are you?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about something you're interested in then.
The taste?
Yes. It says here that coral snakes are pretty good in a snaky kind of way.
A snaky kind of way, huh?
I see you've caught a coral a milk snake. The milk snake closely resembles the coral snake, but it's actually not venomous. Even so, you'll still take damage if it bites you, so don't get too close.
So is there a way to tell the difference between a milk snake and a coral snake?
It's pretty difficult. They really do look almost exactly alike. I guess if I had to pick something, I'd say it's that the milk snake is much less aggressive.
Okay.
Ah, I just thought of a better way. You're going to love this.
What?
Eat it.
Eat it?
Yeah, the guide says milk snakes don't taste very good.
Yeah, I know. But if I've already caught and eaten it, what does it matter which kind of snake it was?
It doesn't, does it? Shoot, I thought I had a good idea. I see you've caught yourself an arowana. The arowana is an ancient fish that lives in tropical freshwater areas. Because of its large size, I don't think you'll be able to capture one alive. Ancient fish like the arowana are living fossils. They've hardly changed their form since the Devonian and Jurassic periods. Other ancient fish besides the arowana include the coelacanth, the starlet, and the knifefish. Almost all organisms on Earth have evolved in various shapes and forms, but these fish have kept the same form for hundreds of millions of years. Baffling, isn't it?
Sure.
Well, I can see you're not interested.
Not at all. I love ancient fish.
Why?
They taste pretty good.
I see you caught an otten frog. The otten frog is a large, corpulent species of frog. They're known as a delicacy, so it might be worth catching them for food. The otten frog was originally found only on Amami Oshima in Japan. Frogs usually have 4 toes on their front legs, but the otten frog is unique in that it has 5.
I tried one. It was pretty tasty. I can see why it's a delicacy.
I'm glad to hear it. I hear that in Japan, otten frog sashimi and sukiyaki are popular dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Japan, huh? That place is starting to sound better and better.
I see you've caught a tree frog. The tree frog is a green frog that's found throughout Asia. It's arboreal, spending most of its time in shrubs and bushes. Use the tranquilizer gun to catch one alive. I bet you could scare an enemy good if you tossed one at him. But the tree frogs that live in that jungle are a lot bigger than ordinary tree frogs.
They've got an appetite, huh?
You've got a one-track mind, don't you? But seriously, that is one theory. However, there are people who think it's a mutation caused by nuclear testing and waste from the research facility.
Yeah, I ate one, but it didn't taste that great.
Is that all you ever think about?
What else is there?
Lots.
Like what?
Like why a frog would get so big in the first place. Whether it's a temporary phenomenon created by a unique environment, or a permanent mark of evolution, or a product of the toxic waste coming out of the research facility. If it is the waste that's causing it, then it means humans are interfering with the ecosystem. It really makes you think about the changing relationship between...
This isn't interesting.
Oh, fine. Be that way. I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate?
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie? It was pretty good.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, but what the hell was it?
What?
Never seen anything like it. What?
Hold on. You just ate something without even knowing what it was?
Yeah, it looked good. So, what was it?
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
Furthermore, one of Calorie Mate's biggest advantages is that they are all exactly the same portion size. So no matter how you eat it, you always get the same nutrients, flavor, and calories. Each Calorie Mate has a set number of calories, so it's easy to keep track of your calorie intake. All of the geisha girls in Japan use Calorie Mate for watching their calories.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan. I see you caught yourself a rat. The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that were domesticated by humans as pets and lab animals. They're not poisonous, and I don't think they'll attack you, but they're quick little creatures, so you might have a hard time catching one. Looks like you found a Golova.
Golova?
Yeah, it's a fruit that's found only in that region. It's related to the jackfruit, which is commonly found in Southeast Asia.
Jackfruit, huh?
Yep, he's a cannibal.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm sure you...
I said, I'm sure you'd like it.
Oh.
Golova means head in Russian. It's probably called that because the fruit grows to about the size of a human head. It's supposedly pretty good to eat with a uniquely sweet flavor. The fruit itself is fairly large, so you can make a meal out of it.
Yeah, I tried one. It was pretty good.
Naturally. Golovas grow directly off the trunk of the tree. If you're running low on stamina, it might be a good idea to keep an eye on the tree trunks. I see you've got yourself a ration. Rations are portable meals carried by Soviet soldiers.
I've heard some nasty stories about how they taste.
It looks like the rumors are true.
Great.
Hey, you should be grateful. Those things are designed to last. No matter how long you keep a ration, it'll never go bad. And they're surprisingly good for you, too.
I'd take a snake over this any day, even if it's a little rotten.
You are hopeless. By the way, Snake.
What?
You know the Ocelot unit commander?
Ocelot?
Yeah, that's not his real name, is it?
I wouldn't think so.
Is it a code name?
You mean like Snake?
Yeah.
Maybe. Why? Is that strange?
No, I was just wondering why he's called Ocelot.
Why's that?
Well, I looked it up, and it turns out the ocelot is a wild cat whose habitat stretches from the southern U.S. down to northern Argentina. They live in a variety of different environments, from tropical rainforests to savannas. The biggest ones can grow up to 1 meter in length. They're normally solitary creatures, and their diet consists mainly of small animals and fish. During the day, they sleep up in the trees, but at night...
Yeah, paramedic.
Oh, right. So, the ocelot is an animal that lives on the American continent. But then I wondered, why would a Soviet officer be using the name of an American wildcat?
Good question. Maybe it's because he's fast and agile like an ocelot.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
But why'd you go to all the trouble of looking it up?
Because I was curious. Was it helpful?
Sure.
Hey, Snake, remember back at the abandoned factory when you whittled the grip of that 45 down?
Yeah,
I've never heard of a customization like that before. Why the grip?
to fit it with a knife.
A knife? You're gonna keep the knife and the gun both at the ready?
That's the idea.
Why would you want to do that?
Sometimes a knife works better in close proximity encounters. So I equip both at the same time. That way I can switch back and forth in an instant.
Badass. So that's that.
CQC.
Sounds like the Cobra unit's members' names came from the specific emotions they each carry into battle.
Emotions?
Yeah. For unbearable torment, the pain. For true oblivion, the end. For infinite rage, the fury. For absolute terror, the fear. And for unsurpassed bliss, the joy.
The joy?
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose. During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair. Snake, you said Eva said her Mauser was a Type 17, right?
Yeah, what about it?
That model was produced in the 1920s in a weapons lab in the Shaanxi province in China. The cartridge part sticks out lower than the original to accommodate 45 caliber rounds. The barrel and chamber are a little bit thicker too. But most telling of all, it's got Chinese characters engraved on both sides of the frame like you saw. And that firing stance Eva was talking about where you hold the gun horizontally, that's a trademark of the Chinese. Just like you were saying, when you're firing in full auto mode, the muzzle jump effect gives you a horizontal strafing motion. They say it's especially deadly in indoor and close-range mop-up actions. The Japanese called it bandit shooting and used to dread it. Makes you wonder where she learned to shoot like that. You know that army motorcycle that Eva was riding? That's a replica of a German model.
A replica?
Yeah. After World War II, the Soviets confiscated an entire assembly line from a German motorcycle factory, machines and all.
And then they took it back with them and started producing replicas?
Exactly. Originally, that motorcycle was designed to be used with a sidecar attached. That means it's got enough power to drag a 200-plus pound sidecar around.
So that's how she could pull off all those crazy stunts.
Uh-huh. Of course, it takes a lot of skill to be able to control that much power. That Eva chick is something else. The Davy Crockett's that the boss took with her when she defected are mortars that fire nuclear warheads. They're named after Davy Crockett, the hero who died defending the Alamo in the Texan War of Independence.
Remember the Alamo?
That's right. The warheads are equivalent to between 10 and 20 tons of TNT. Every building within 150 yards of the hypocenter is completely obliterated. But the warheads the boss had with her were some kind of experimental super bomb, so they're actually even more powerful than that. I don't even want to think about what happened if she used it again. Snake, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, I know.
The weapon you've got equipped now is a prototype model of the Mark 22, a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy. It's been modified to act as a tranquilizer gun. The Mark 22 is a heavily modified special ops version of the M39 pistol used as a sidearm by the SEALs. Probably the biggest change from the M39 is that it's got a longer barrel, which allows it to be equipped with a suppressor. And it uses a slide lock mechanism. That makes it a lot quieter, but it also means you have to load a new round into the chamber by hand every time you fire. It's also fitted with tall, adjustable sights, so you can use the front and rear sights to line up your shot even with a suppressor attached.
Looks like they got rid of the magazine safety, too.
Good eye. That feature wasn't too popular with guys like you who know their guns. The shear release lever's been taken off as well, meaning the hammer won't fall even with the safety on.
So I can just cock and lock.
That, and you get the added bonus of not having any mechanical noise from decocking, even with the safety on. The perfect pistol for a sneaking mission, huh? Active sonar sends out a special type of sound wave whenever you press the movement stick. It uses the echo from those waves to calculate and display the position of nearby objects. Unlike the motion detector, it'll show you objects that aren't moving. But because you're blasting out sound waves, there's a risk that the noise will alert enemies and animals to your presence. Be careful about when and where you use it. I see you're wearing the olive drab uniform. Olive drab, or OD for short, is the standard battle uniform for GIs. It's a solid color outfit with no camouflage pattern, so naturally it's not going to be much use as camouflage. I'd change into something else as soon as possible if I were you. Looks like you're using splitter face paint. Splitter is an indoor face paint. Painting your face with splitter should help you blend in better when you're infiltrating a building. Pattern clothing, face paint, tactical movements. These are the elements of camouflage that will allow you to deceive your enemy. To camouflage yourself, first check out the survival viewer. Then select camouflage and you'll see two more options, face and uniform. Choose face to apply face paint and uniform to change your field uniform. Simple, really. Make sure and choose something that'll match your surroundings. Your field uniform is not just a set of threads to wear. To get the max effect out of your camouflage, you gotta correspond with your environment. So no matter where you are, make sure to choose a camo pattern that lets you blend in. Covering your body is a good start, but a bare face will kill even the best camouflage. If the situation calls for a high camo index, you better break out the face paint. To apply face paint, select face from the camouflage menu in the survival viewer. Then choose a face paint that blends in with your surroundings. The camo index displayed on the screen tells you if your outfit is getting the job done. The higher the value of this index, the harder it is for the enemy to spot you. Try your best to keep the camo index as high as possible. I heard you fought against KGB troops in the Virtuous mission, but this time you're up against Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz is the Special Forces unit of GRU, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. Spetsnaz troops undergo rigorous training in all types of special ops, from assassination and demolition to intelligence gathering. That and Volgan's loaded, man. His unit is one of the best equipped in the entire Soviet Union, if not the best. I heard the enemies you encountered in the Virtuous mission were only carrying weapons like AKs and grenades. Well, it ain't that simple anymore. In addition to AKs, some of the patrols you'll encounter might be equipped with Scorpion submachine guns and shotguns. The Scorpion is even lighter than the AK, making it much easier to handle. Basically, a guy with a Scorpion is not gonna miss you as often as with an AK. The shotgun is a powerful weapon. One blast is enough to floor you and you're likely to be seriously wounded. Watch for that, man. So you've got your uniform and your face paint, but that alone isn't enough to make for good camouflage. Camouflage means blending in with nature. To make your disguise complete, you've got to keep a low profile and avoid overt movements. As long as you've got the uniform and face paint working for you, and you're lying flat keeping still, you won't have to worry about being spotted from a distance. On the flip side, dancing around your enemy in perfect camo is still a dead giveaway. So if the enemy's looking for you and he's getting too close for comfort, just lay low for the time being. You're on a solo sneaking mission. Your success is based on your ability to survive. That's where the survival viewer comes in. The survival viewer contains everything you need to survive out in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage, and backpack to select your gear. Use food to eat, cure to treat wounds, and map to view a detail of the area. You've also got options. That lets you change the settings to suit your mission preferences. Got it? Whenever you find a new weapon or piece of equipment, the first thing you do is drop it in your backpack, right? But you can't use your new goodies if they're just sitting in your backpack. To use a weapon or piece of equipment, first you have to take it out of your backpack and place it on your person. To take an item out of your backpack, use the backpack option in the survival viewer. To place a weapon on your person, select weapon under the backpack section of the survival viewer. See that window? That shows a list of all the weapons you've got. Choose the weapon you want to carry from the list and press the enter button to take it out of your backpack. Just remember that there's a limit to the number of weapons you can carry at the same time. So put back any stuff you don't need. To put a weapon on your person back into your backpack, choose a weapon that's already on you from the weapon list and press the enter button. Or you can just swap the weapon you want to put away for another. Do whatever works best. Keep in mind that every weapon and piece of equipment weighs something. The heavier the equipment you're lugging around, the faster you'll burn up stamina. You can see how much your equipment weighs by going into the backpack screen in the survival viewer. If you're trying to conserve your stamina, make some cuts and toss the equipment you don't need in your backpack. When you're using the assault rifle, pressing the aim button will ready it. That's nice if you need to drop nearby enemies with some speed, but it's difficult to aim straight. If you need to take more accurate shots, like tagging enemies in vital spots from a distance, use the first-person view button instead. Doing so will allow you to aim the gun from the shoulder. You can take precise aim with the front and rear sights. When you're focusing on your mark, it will be as accurate as if you were zooming in. When you fire continuously with a gun like the assault rifle, the recoil will cause your shots to veer off target. But if you crouch or lie down, you can suppress the recoil and keep a tight fire pattern. So when you gotta hit that bullseye, take a low position. The Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. You can use it to take enemies down without hurting them. The thing is, the amount of time it takes for the tranquilizer to work depends on which part of the body the dart hits. If you need to drop an enemy in one shot, aim for the head. The Mark 22 can also be equipped with a suppressor. With a suppressor equipped, you won't need to worry about anybody hearing the shot. But the suppressor will deteriorate each time the gun is fired. The durability of your suppressor is displayed on the weapon icon whenever the suppressor is equipped. Be sure to keep an eye on it. A suppressor can be unequipped by pressing the enter button while the weapon window is open. It's a good idea to take the suppressor off a gun when you don't need it.
The crevice leading to the cave is to the north of that base. Keep heading north.
Eva, what kind of unit are those ocelots I fought a little while ago?
The Ocelot unit is an elite group composed of soldiers handpicked from among the ranks of Spetsnaz, the Special Forces wing of GRU. They've undergone even more rigorous training than regular Spetsnaz. Their skill with weapons is the stuff of legends. You'll find they're much better shots than the rest of GRU. Watch yourself. Snake, there's a provision storehouse in the center of that area and an armory to the northeast. By destroying them, you should be able to cut off supplies to the enemy in that area.
Here at last. Looks like the boss's info was right. Twice now you've made me taste bitter defeat. To disappoint the Cobras, but you're mine now. All of you, leave us. It's just you and me. No one to get in our way. Ocelots are proud creatures. They prefer to hunt alone. Shots. This time I've got 12 shots. Okay. Draw!
Fire!
It's so different from simply changing a clip. This reload time is exhilarating. What's the matter? Dirty. Shoot there. Shoot! Get out of here! Damn it. He found us. Huh? You were lucky. We'll meet again.